Good evening. This is Harini from Sci-Chronicle. So, Sci-Chronicle is basically a community forum which aims in creating a lot of awareness in scientific facts and sustainability. So, today is our second factual entrepreneurship training session, which is titled Enabling Sustainability for Self and Others. So, going to the speaker, Aparna, Miss Aparna, she is a close friend of mine and she is an enthusiastic, sustainable lover. So she is an upcycling enthusiast, and she is also working as an electrical engineer at Robert Bosch. And for past 1.5 years, she is enthusiastically taking up sustainability, trying to replace everything which she is utilizing and at her home, so that her place will be sustainable and eco-friendly. So thank you, Aparna, for accepting our invitation. Over to you.
So thanks a lot, Harini. Thank you, Sci-Chronicle. This is an amazing opportunity for me to connect with a lot more people, and I think a lot of here I can see are college students, I think, and I guess I'll just start the presentation when you can see my screen. Yeah, just let me know. Yeah. So as you all know, I'm first of all very happy to see such large numbers coming in, and this is more than anything that I can have on a Sunday evening. So yeah, thank you everyone, and I'm really happy to start this off. And to begin with, I will be taking you through the whole presentation like this. You know that it is enabling sustainability for self and others. So I'll first take you through how or why, what is the need for sustainability. And after that, we can go into different eco businesses that we see around and what they do and things like that. So anytime in between you want to raise a question or something like that, please do raise it. You can always, if you don't, if you feel uncomfortable putting your video on, it's okay. You can just unmute yourself and raise a question or just put it in the chat. Maybe it will be difficult for me to look into the chat right now, but yeah. So anyway, so this is how the whole thing is going to be. So to begin with, so as you can see, I'm here because I love the possibilities of individual actions and their impact. So there is a lot of potential in each of us, in each individual to do something, and that definitely has huge impacts than more than we can imagine. So more than what I do or what are the practices I follow, instead of that, I want to delve into why I do what I do, so that it is more general and everyone can look into it. I don't want to block your imaginations and say that this is what you have to do. So if you want to look into different things, I try to post different aspects of my life on my Instagram handle. You can always go there. So today is the collaboration with Sci-Chronicle. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you everyone for coming up here today. And let's start with this enabling sustainability for self and others. Yeah. So to begin with, let's just ask this first question: why are we even talking about sustainability, right? Why should we even start thinking about sustainability in the first place when we think that we are so advanced, we are able to do so much in life, we are going ahead. Of course, the pandemic has put that on a hold, and but anyway, why should we start talking about sustainability, right? If anyone wants to add one or two opinions or your ideas on to this question, it will be great. You can unmute yourself and just start off. Okay. All right. So maybe if someone can help me with this, why are we talking about sustainability and so on? If anyone can add their views.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in future we may lack of resources, so we need to reuse the things what we have instead of producing new things and new materials or whatever it may be.
Okay. Right. So there'll be a short of supply for us in the future if we keep going on the way we are. Right. Thank you, Shriyatsa, for the answer. So to just continue on that note, one thing is we do have a lot of resource problems, and in the future we will not be able to get all that we want. And apart from that, there is, I'm talking about the divides and inequalities that are a lot right now. So the social injustice, the economic injustice, and the environmental injustice. Yeah. So these three things right now are at its peak, I would say. We have never seen this kind of injustice before until now. Right? And if we feel that these are huge terms to even understand, these are, in simple words, this human beings are facing existential crisis, right? So we really want to save ourselves right now. And in order to do that, we have to understand that we are not isolated from the environment. And to begin to start looking at it in an interconnected way, let us see this first. Yeah, there are three spheres of sustainability. One is the social, the environmental, and the economic. Right. So if you look at the social and the environmental aspects of it, they are interconnected too. Individually, we all know what social problems are, what environmental issues are, and what economic depreciations and so on are. Like, each one of us has heard this every single day of our life, isn't it? And but how do you interconnect them? Because there's no way we can leave them individually and say that, if I just care for the environment, then I'm going to be sustainable. Or if I only care about the social, I'm going to be sustainable. Or if I only care about the economic, and I'm going to be sustainable. This is not really possible. Yeah. To take an example, if you look at the social environmental link, if I would like to state that way, the link between these two. Say environmental issues, first thing that comes to our mind is pollution, isn't it? Pollution, be it water pollution, air, land waste, everything. And who are the people who are actually affected by it in the first place? Say rag pickers, they go to the landfills, they pick out all the trash which can be recycled. They're doing such an important job, but still they have to get in touch with the toxic chemicals that are there, the toxic air that is there. They have to go and literally play with their lives there, right? And if you look at rag pickers, their economic situation is not increasing at all. Their social standards are not increasing by doing rag picking. And even though environmental issues are there, they are getting affected most at the social level too, right? And if you look at the economic and environmental link, people are, a lot of times we have heard the government wants to build a highway, so they are clearing up a forest. And these are just simple issues. We just because we want to develop and so on, we start increasing the economic aspect. We only focus on that, and environment gets left behind. So there's when you look at sustainability, it's a really, really huge and vast topic. Yeah, it's not just something that happens overnight. It's a journey, I would say. Yeah, and to be able to give everyone their basic rights, to be able to live with basic ethics, to be able to take into account all the flora, the fauna, and considering ourselves part of the very nature is something core to sustainability, I would say. Yeah. And if you look at such a huge issue, we saw all these problems, right? This each and every country has its own problem. And if you look at the global level, definitely there are so many issues, right? It becomes very overwhelming for each one of us to look at these issues, and we can feel very helpless at that point. Just because we start feeling, even if I do something good, how is that even going to change the whole situation, right? That becomes the first question in our head. And so in that conditions, what is more important is to look at things that are under our control. When you look at the global scale, it's a lot of things can go wrong, and a lot of things are not under our control at all. But if you look at our own individual living space, then we have lots to do. Yeah. So let's see what you and I can do about this. First and foremost, every single day in our home, we consume a lot of things, right? It could be anything. Yeah. We consume a lot of things. We make use of resources, natural resources. It could be derived or it could be directly taken. And we use them and we then just throw it away. So there is a lot of things that comes into our living space every day, and a lot of things that go out from our living space every day, right? So if you look into that, each and everything that happens in our everyday lives can be improved. That's the potential of individual action. Okay, and as I earlier said, sustainability is a journey. It's not a single day thing, and it's very exciting journey. It's a lot more you can do. Every time you do something, you'll feel like you can do so much more the next time, right? It's as beautiful as that. So what should be our first step towards sustainability for ourselves, right? The first thing that we have to understand is that from smallest of the microbes to the largest of the blue whales, right? We all share the same breath, the same planet, and the same environment. So this is a very powerful statement. This actually changed a lot for me. Just consider this: a blue whale somewhere in the ocean, a microbe somewhere in the ocean, is helping us breathe on the land. And what we are doing here, whatever plastics we are sending out of our home, whatever chemicals we are sending out from our living space, goes out into the ocean and affects these mammals, affects these animals, and it's a vicious cycle, right? Every single day, whatever we send out comes back in return to us one day or the other, right? So this is our first steps towards sustainability, to understand that we are very much part of this nature that we call our home, right? Our planet is a beautiful place, and we have now started thinking it's somewhere far away, right? Nature is not something outside, we are part of it. Yeah. So here is something where I want all of us to involve. So as I said, every day we have a lot of things that happen within our living space. So you can take a cue from all these things, or you can say what are the things that you do every day. Now you feel that you can improve, right? What are the simple things that maybe you can do? Something that you are able to, get through right now. Anyone can unmute and please you can go on. Is there somebody who would like to add something? Probably something that you already do or you want to. Okay. So what I was asking is there something that you guys can just look into every day with in your house that you think can be improved? Do you think that it is polluting and we have to do something about it? Anything like that? Is there some answers in the chat? I'm not able to see. Okay. Okay. Burning plastics near home. Okay. What could be the solution, or what could we do instead of burning plastics near home? All right. So let me just probably take you through the small slide. First of all, you can see different elements of our life right now in this. You can see um, going to the supermarket, going for a grocery store, traveling, using transport, celebrations, electricity usage, electronic device usage. You have the wastes, the animal or pets that you have at home, the food or the beverage you drink, um, the water that we consume every day, you know, um, and also the chemicals that are in our home, right? So each and every single thing in our home has some effect. So to begin with, we can change each and everything. We have alternatives for almost all the things, but maybe say for medicines, for say sports equipment and so on, it might be difficult for us to find an alternative right away. But there's always technology that's improving, and there's always scope for improvement. So what could be the alternative for this? The first thing, or the first few things that we can think of, is to try and reduce. I think these are very basic things we have learned at school and at college. Yeah. So maybe if you can say something about transport, how you can change it, or say about food, how it can change. Is there something that you would like to add? Okay, cycling. Okay, lots of material we are using in our that is organic food. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, please go on. Yes.
So for transport, we can use pooling. If it's important that we go by private vehicles. We can do carpools or use public transport instead of private vehicles. For food, we should try to use organic or or farm grown rather than store bought or in canned.
Okay, okay,
Those things, they lead to more waste.
right. Definitely. Yes, Karuna. That's very important point that you brought up. Almost the more something is processed and manufactured, the more waste is produced, the more energy goes into it. And at the end, a lot of waste is also produced out of it. So if we can buy something that's more, that's less processed, and that would be really a great step in the first place. Yeah, I can see a lot of answers on the chat. Organic food is a huge step. The first and foremost about organic food is that we are trying to reduce soil pollution, air pollution. The farmers are able to be less exposed to the toxic air or toxic chemicals, which also improves their health, which improves their lifestyle too. Right. So and the first thing is a lot of us have to start demanding organic food. Only then they will be also able to grow more, right? Okay. Recycling vegetable waste for home gardens. Yeah. Cloth bags, definitely. Yeah. And cloth bags you can make on your own and take it and go, right? So that is even better instead of buying at the shop the cloth bag. Right. Biodegradable plastics. Avoid plastic products. Yeah. Someone wants to say?
Yes, I want to say something.
Yeah, please go on.
So we need to learn how to manage our waste, because the most of the plastics which enter the oceans are the plastics which are not managed properly. So we have to segregate our waste into biodegradable and non-biodegradable and dispose in a certain way, so that our plastics used in our home is going to the recycle centers and being recycled. So waste
Yes,
management plays a major role.
definitely. Yeah. Thank you for that answer. It's in fact the most basic thing that we can all do. I think recently a lot of corporations have started collecting segregated waste and so on. And I think to begin with, this is such a simple step to start with. Just segregate them in the first place, right? And if you feel that your corporation is not having segregated waste management, then start composting in your own home. Start with say recycling, giving all the plastic waste that you collect to the recyclers and so on, right? Okay. And one more important thing is our cleaners. Yeah, the cleaners that we use every day in our life, that is say toilet cleaners or floor cleaners or dishwashers and all these things, even soaps and shampoos, they have lots of additional phosphates, nutrients, sulfates, and so much more chemicals than we ever need to have in our lives. And all this goes every day into the say drainage, and then it eventually goes to some river and some water body, from where again we take water to irrigate our farms and fields, right? So everything that we send out of our home has to be properly taken care of. We should be mindful of that. Yeah. All right. I think to begin with, I just wanted everyone to understand why we even have to think about sustainability. Yeah. If you feel that there is some element that you would like to add to this very question, or if you want to add any other ideas, please feel free to do it. Yeah, definitely. Yes, sir. I will be definitely showing you some home cleaning product websites, which can be which we can um, everyday, we can bring into our everyday lives. We can do that. Yeah. Okay. So if at all we say that enabling sustainability for ourselves, it it is a very huge topic, right? And to be able to do that, we definitely need some organizations. With the current set of companies, with the current set of say products, it's very difficult to lead a life that we imagine, like an eco-friendly life. If you even want to buy a noodle packet or a chocolate or a cake or anything for that matter, everything comes wrapped in plastic. How do you avoid everything? How much can you know, hold back and say that, you know, environment is for what I am living for, and I want to change all this. And how much there is, you know, we do have some cravings sometimes, right? And how do we do that? For that very reason, we need companies like these, or organizations which enable sustainability for others, right? So let's look at them, and that will also help us to look to improve our lives. Yeah. So I feel there are three types of change makers, I would like to call them, and these three type of organizations help in building a better community, better society, right? So the first is say enabling consulting, enabling sustainability consulting. These are organizations which go on to other companies or go on to other individuals, help them figure out what can be improved, or where to reduce their wastage, or where to improve their sources of materials and so on. From starting to end, they are able to suggest that company what to do and what not to do. And the second type of company or organization, as you may like to call it, it's the enabling activism, right? Enabling activism. Why is activism very important? Because we all are speaking today. We all know, you know, pollution is something we have always heard, right? But why don't we do anything about it? We know a lot of problems are associated with it, but why don't we do it? There's a lot of disconnect with the way it has been presented all our lives. We are always told that air pollution is something, water pollution is something, and there's no connection to our lives. I mean, as long as we have water running, coming out of from our taps every day, we don't have issues with water. One day we don't have water, we start. We start activism immediately, right? I mean, we ask government, where is the water? We pay the bills. You know, come on, this is not fair. And but in everyday lives, we forget this fairness in a lot of other things. So these are the kind of organizations, for example, Sci-Chronicle, or say a lot of different communities. They enable awareness spreading. They enable information propagandas, and a lot of things happen. There are a lot of techniques they involve. They use field trips. They use a lot of different methods to help people really understand what the issue is, what the problem is, right? So enabling activism is another kind of organization, right? So, and the third is the ethical business. So ethical business, what is it about, right? So ethical businesses are the kind of organizations which work with people, work with communities, work with say disadvantaged communities, and help them empower themselves, help them create a job and livelihood, improve their standard of living, and in turn, you know, get, even though they are improving the economy, they are also looking into say environment and also the economic situation, right? And also the social situation. These are the kind of ethical businesses that are really needed right now. Yeah. So and these organizations align with the UN SDGs. This UN SDG, yeah, definitely we will it's something that we all know, so I don't have to really go into very detail about it. If you're not aware of it, please do let me know. We can have a discussion after the whole slides are done. Yeah. So let's look into some of the different ways activism is enabled. I'm just going through the slides to give you an overall idea, and I want I really want more people to engage, so that you know, later, because everyone has a different idea of sustainability. Yeah, it's a huge vast topic. You can work on different elements of it. You need not be only environment friendly, you need not be only thinking about economics, or you need not only be thinking of the social aspect, you know. So each one has a different perspective, each one has a different skill, each one loves to do something, right? So in the end, please do after you see all this, I would like all of us to engage to just put out our thoughts and ideas across. Yeah. So enabling activism, as you can see in the slide, um, for example, it's just a simple wall painting. It's like an awareness to all the people that are passing through the roads. If someone really sees it, it can affect them. When you have such wall posters and awareness drives and campaigns in different places, people start thinking about it one way or the other. The second is more like cleanup drives, where I think cleanup drives have been very, very crucial for me in understanding how what we throw out reaches in different places. So one time we were doing a cleanup drive near a temple hill, and I was just right next to the steps, and I was trying to take out all the plastic wrappers around. And I was just trying to pull out one plastic wrapper, and the plastic wrapper was so deeply dug inside the soil. I mean, I was just trying to pull it out, and it just kept coming. And I thought this is a Temple Hill area, and I don't know from where such huge amount of plastic is coming from. And that was like, and I felt that this could have been from somewhere from my own place, right? So whatever we throw, everything, all the land, it goes to the landfill or it goes to some other dumping area, which is affecting several other organisms, right? It's not just about throwing, and it's not just about us, but when we throw, we are changing the whole ecosystem there, right? We are changing how the insects survive. We change what the plants take in, and the plants have to breathe out, and we have to breathe in again, right? So the whole cycle gets disturbed just by us throwing mindlessly, right? So this is one point. Then next is this is something from the Ugly Indian. They are amazing group of I would say it's an amazing organization. They don't have a face. The founders do not show themselves out, and if at all you want to do it, just go out there and do it. Right? It's your place. It's your area. It's your street. Your community. If you are not able to take care of it, then who else is going to? Right? So that's the kind of idea that they put across. That is another enabling activism. There are several other ways. They take little kids to, say, field trips. They take them to forest areas. They show them the diversity, the beauty of nature, the flora and the fauna, and the amazing interconnectedness that we all have, right? So that how to that also helps people understand what is happening more. This, for example, is a natural building workshop. Each one of us is sitting in a cement building right now, isn't it? I mean, how much energy has went into it, and once we leave this place, I mean, this building is just going to be there. It's far away from natural organic substance, and that's not going to help in any way. So there is need for us to shift to better building structures, better materials, better, say, living conditions too. So if you look at natural building, there are each local community has a beautiful building architecture, right? If you look down, if you look up in the north, there are adobe structures, they say. So adobe is a kind of material brick made from that area, from that or whatever is available in that area, right? So it's localized, it's regionalized. It doesn't have to travel way across from a steel mine to a ore and so much more. Okay, and this natural building workshops where people get to experience how to build something that, even if it disintegrates, is not going to affect nature, right? So it's going to just dissolve back into soil. So something like this. There are workshops, there are organizations that take workshop, and there are organizations, think of animal, say, welfare too. Is it sustainability is about, it's an inclusive topic, right? It's a very inclusive topic. Unless and until we care for every single thing that is around us, it's impossible to think of a long-term solution right? So animal welfare organizations, they allow us to volunteer, go there, experience the unconditional love that animals provide. And also you get to see how badly we treat animals, right? So in one of the animal welfare organizations where I used to volunteer, there used to be such heartless people coming and just abandoning dogs or their pets, and people would have tied them with iron rods, iron wires, and they would have just left them to die, I would say. And people come, there are other people also who see this, rescue them, and try to make its life better. So there are two extreme ends. And I think the way we think about all our organisms, all the animals around us, definitely needs a change. Then then we have such sort of farm trips where you can go look at how much a farmer has to put into making all the food that we eat, and how much do they actually get paid. If you're paying, like, say 60 rupees per kilo for a kg of rice, um, do you really think that 60 rupees per kg is able to provide what the farmer put in? um, there is so much more behind that, right? If we are buying a cotton shirt for, say, 200 rupees on the roadside that they sell, did the farmer who create that cotton get his share of profits? Is he able to, or the next step, who is making the fabric itself, was he or she, or were they able to, you know, um, get the right economic profits that they are deserved? Were they working in a good environment, I would say? Their jobs, and a lot of bangle industries, lot of say fashion industries also, for that matter, just because they have to put out new clothes every other week, they have made the life of the garment workers miserable, right? And how do you tackle that? How do you know that what you're paying for is not having something really bad behind the scenes of beautiful advertisements, right? So that is something that brings in all the aspects of sustainability, all the aspects of environment, and so on, right? And how do you the third kind of the second kind of organization is enabling sustainability. Maybe before I go into this, is there something that anyone wants to share? Is there something that you have experienced, or anything like that, which you would want to, which you want everyone else to know? Maybe and I just want to listen to you guys as well, please. Okay. I don't, okay. I hope. Okay. Then we can go on. If anyone wants to speak, you can say, or we can go on. All right. Then we have the second kind of organization, which says about enabling sustainability, right? So how do you enable that, right? I mean, what are the kind of different ways that have come up? So why I am showing these different kind of organizations is because right now I think a lot of you are in college, and definitely you are thinking about your career paths and so on. So it's not always necessary that you have to be on ground, be on field, and work and prove that you are, sustainable or anything like that. It's not something like that. So sustainability can come in a lot of different ways. So I want to show the different kind of package that you have here. So one is biobasics. Biobasics is a kind of organization where they bring in organic food. They try to connect the organic farmer to the customer who wants organic food. So that demand and that supply, they try to create, right? They try to join that and see how it can be enabled. So for this, they need a proper platform, they need a proper website, they need a proper app, for that matter. They need a good UX design, or they need good websites where people feel that it's user friendly, and they're able to do it. So if you're a computer engineer, or if you're a say UX designer or UI designer, you have all the possibilities to be in a field where it really makes a difference, right? That is one kind of way. The other is this is recycle. This is a digital solution, in fact. So what they do is um, they try to go to different waste. So waste generators are basically us or the companies or say small organizations or hotels, or it can be any kind of place where it just generate waste, right? So they can be all brought in on the platform. They can go and they can get ideas on who are the recyclers in their area, who can be approached, what can be recycled, and they try to make this in a very proper method. So where what goes from where, everything is known. So there are a lot of technology that can be used in this way too, right? So it's a complete digital solution, and um, if you know about things like blockchain and even artificial intelligence and so on, you can always connect them. You can always say that this is something. At this time of the year, a lot of marriages happen and a lot of waste is produced. So the waste generators will be more. So we need more people, more recyclers there, and you can predict, just like how you predict weather, you forecast the weather. You can forecast a lot of different ways, and you can get all this going on, right? So technology is definitely aiding, can help in achieving better businesses. So the next is say Saha's Zero Waste and Scrap. They are kind of a similar organization, right? They do have different portfolios, but overall, I would like to say they both are into waste management. Yeah. So what they do is say. Music event is going to happen like pre-COVID times. Whenever there was a event or say a concert or something, we know how many people come in. We know how many soft drinks we have, how many popcorns or chips or so much more goes there, and we eat and we just throw away there, right? And who cleans it up, right? So every event that comes up has some waste print to it. So what Scrap does is they help events become zero waste. So zero waste is a huge term in itself, and if you are trying to associate it with the events, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? I mean, just think, you come out of a concert that is zero waste. You attended a 100% beautiful concert which did not affect nature in lot many ways. Yeah. Similarly, is Sahas Zero Waste. They also do consulting. They have a lot of waste management services. Scrap helps offices become zero waste. They have a lot of workshops. They have corporate programs. They have you can just invite them over, and they do a lot of workshops, and they are amazing at it. So a lot of organizations have this sort of consulting and services too. Next is periphery. Periphery is it's a really why I have brought this into sustainability is because it is periphery is so inclusive. They are trying to create an inclusive society for everyone, every single human being. So they are trying to create inclusive jobs for transgender persons. They are building a LGBTQ plus inclusive workspace. We all know how much injustice and how much inequalities they have to face. Periphery goes to different organizations. They get to know if they are interested in this. If not, they sensitize them about the topics. They get to they have been giving a lot of LGBTQ plus individuals a job. They also give them the training required, and they're able to by this way they're not only getting them a job, they are giving them the social justice, they are giving the economic justice they can be entitled to, right? So this is one thing. The other is Aval is like a social enterprise. Again, they work with women and say at disadvantaged communities, and they provide a lot of management, skill managements, and skill trainings, and so on. And they get women empowerment, and they um, they help them secure jobs again, secure better lifestyle and better standard of living. So there are organizations which are sustainable in this way too, right? They help build a sustainable community by making the space inclusive for all, right? So this is also a part of sustainability. Then we have another this is Ambio. Ambio is again a app, or I would say a website and an organization which allows people who are starting their new business get good resources. Say any business that you start, you need raw materials, you need uh, some sourcing of materials to begin with, right? Only then you can create products in the first place. So they are trying to reach to the starting of the cycle and provide products, provide sources that are sustainable, right? So from there onwards, they can help you track each and every point of how your manufacturing or supply chain is, and till the end, it's really interesting. I mean, so circular economy, like what you see here, what is written here, circular economy in itself is it's again what is more important. So sustainability is a base, and then circular economy becomes all the more important. Okay, so sometime else we could also sometime talk about circular economy. And then comes the third type of business, which is ethical business. So ethical businesses are again, they try to create um, a situation, or try to create jobs that are not only people friendly but environment friendly, and also pocket friendly too for the people. So definitely, because of this very reason, you will find that these products are little more costlier, because they are trying to provide the right profit that people who made these products have are entitled to, right? If someone is putting all their efforts into making something good for you, they should also be paid, right? I mean, everyone has to be paid properly. There should be equal rights to that, and such organizations make sure that they are able to give them the right justice in that way. So Wild Ideas is an amazing platform. You can find so many things. You have household cleaners, you have personal care products, you have food, cloth bags, home essentials, everything you can find under Wild Ideas. And this definitely empowers people somewhere in the hills of, I think, Tamil Nadu somewhere. Yeah. So this is one thing. Then Bare Necessities is another. They have gotten a very good revolution, I would say, with zero waste. Um, it's the kind of packaging they have, plastic free packaging. It's not polluting, and it's cruelty free. It's not tested on animals, right? So that is one thing. You have makeup products. You have you can get in touch with events or workshops for them. They have home products. I think a lot of things you can find for everyday use. Then you have Bamboo India. Bamboo India is like where you can go buy bamboo based products, bamboo toothbrushes, and bamboo, say, uh, holders, and gifting solutions, where you can think of gifting good. I would say, instead of giving the usual gift wrappers and so on, try to just change it a little bit. Then you have Biko, where you can buy compostable garbage bags. You can buy tissues that are biodegradable, that are good for the environment. You can buy napkins and a lot more things on Biko. And then there is, if anyone has anything to add here, do you have some? Have you noticed some organization? Do you already have, or have you already bought something from some organization that you would like to share with all of us? Yeah. Okay. Yes, anyone can start speaking. Please don't wait for anyone. Yeah.
Aparna, if you are fine, can I tell about an organization which I
Yeah, sure.
recently? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There is organization called Neighbor Collective. I think you are also aware of that. So they sell eco-friendly napkins. So napkins that are made out of banana trees.
Fibers.
So they are selling eco-friendly napkins, and they're also upcycling all the cloth waste, and they're making that into napkins. So I haven't got any products, but I recently came to know about them.
That's nice. Yeah. I think this can be used in different celebration birthday parties or anything like that. If someone has, after everything gets back to normal, people can use these things. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Harini, for that. Then I would like to bring in Doodlage. Doodlage is a cool, very cool, like young urban company, and they upcycle factory waste. All right, and they are into fashion industry, and they produce a lot of different clothes that are really different from what you see in the industry. So what they do is, first of all, for all of us to understand, fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world, right? And why so? Um, it starts right from, say, if it is cotton, jute, or anything like that. If they are such materials, then you grow them. You use pesticides. You use a lot of chemical fertilizers, and so on. So you have so you already pollute soil, air, and water. Next, it goes to say synthetic materials. You already use chemical products, you use synthetic materials there. So that's the second thing. Third, when you start processing them, when you're giving them the color, those different colors, those different processing, you're giving the denim, bleached look, and so on. All that takes additional chemicals, and all of that, the water runs off back into the um, rivers. Most of the industries do not treat that at all. So you are polluting water, even though you're not directly knowing it. So no one knows this, in fact, right? Like the amazing advertisements that they have, it will never even let you think of how it is produced, right? So it is first and foremost for all of us to start thinking where my things are coming from, right? So that's very important question. Try to find out where my say um, even my spectacle, what are the things that are present in it. You need not go in very detail, but if you know that such so many things goes behind it, then obviously you will start looking for it, right? So that is one thing. So doodlage is it's a very different line in the fashion industry. So instead of buying new clothes and making clothes out of it, buying new pieces of fabric and creating new clothes, what they do is they go to other industries, they buy the remaining materials. So or if you say someone uses 100 meters of cloth in a normal fashion industry, out of that 100 meters, 60 meters is almost wasted, okay? And um, the remaining 40 meters are used for a proper purpose. And if you look at the remaining 60%, they just send it to landfill and it is dumped. So think about all the resources that went into making that, all the um, efforts of farmers, all the efforts, all the plants, all the energy that went into processing it, the water that we polluted, everything you do, and in the end you go and dump it simply, right? So that is a very it's a wastage of resource, isn't it? And what Doodlage does is they go take that from that industry, they buy the remaining materials and they bring it back. They buy it from them. They don't simply take it. They buy it from them. They use it to create new clothes. They use it to create accessories. They use it to create bags, notebook covers, and amazing, interesting products on their profile. And definitely they are a little expensive because they want to give the proper justice to all elements of their work, right? So that you can see they who work in ethical production units. So that is one of the most important things in fashion industry, because a lot of garment workers are do not have good working conditions at all, right? So and are also not paid well. They are overworked and underpaid. So Doodlage tries to bring in that change. There are a lot of different companies that do the similar, have started doing similar things. And I'm just bringing in this as an example so that you get to know that there are so many different ways, so many different markets available right now. Yeah. And coming to this is Eco Sattva store, and Eco Sattva store again has all the things that you need for everyday life, from home care, for living, for your accessories, if you want to gift something, beauty, and say they also have new thing right now which is vegan related things. So all that, and they bring in makeup products that are not harmful for us and harmful for the nature as well, because a lot of powders, the silica mines and so on, people are exploited to get all those minerals and ores and so on, which is used in compact powders and things like that. So even though someone wants to get ready and have all that beautiful makeup on, there is a lot of unknown truths behind the creating of the product itself. So I'm not trying to paint a very grey picture, but I just want us to be aware that things like these happen, and it's that is why sustainability is very, very important. Yeah. So here they are trying to give plant-based stuff instead of having chemicals and synthetically made things that again require energy and so much more. And in the end, it's not going to biodegrade or compost or anything. So instead of that, let's shift to things that are cruelty-free, not tested on animals, and it's sustainable and it's plant-based too, and making it very safe for a lot of ways. Next is Pranapurna is a pioneer in this field, I would say. I think someone in the chat had asked, what about natural cleaners and what to do for the cleaners? So I think Pranapurna and I think even EcoSattva Store, Bare Necessities, they all have products for cleaners. So what they make is out of something called bioenzymes. So bioenzyme is, I would show again something. Yeah. So the Better Home, if you have seen amazing stories that the Better India posts, so from there they also have started something called Better Home. So in Better Home, you can see that bioenzymes are something that that is made from. I don't know exactly how the Better Home creates it, but usually bioenzymes are made from citrus peels, which would be usually thrown away. It's a waste thing. Then water and jaggery. So it's in a ratio that they make. All right. So I'm just giving an overview. If someone wants to ask in detail, in the end, you can definitely go ahead and ask. Yeah. So here, what we are trying to avoid is all the different bleach, the phosphates, the phthalates, and the ammonia, which actually create more indoor pollution. If you try to search for something called indoor air quality, you will know that there is a lot of issues with indoor air, let alone outside air pollution is already there, but indoor air quality, which is inside our homes, is also bad. And it is also because we use a lot of different products. We have perfumes, we have say the cleaning floor cleaners, the scents in them, every single thing has an impact. Yeah. So they just can stay in the air and have issues with us. So in the bioenzymes, what happens is it's not just one-time clean. The bioenzymes have microbes that help in cleaning action even after you clean and remove the just wipe off surfaces with that. So they help digest the organic matter, and it gives you a very good cleaning action. I have myself tried at my home, and it works really well. And these in fact these cleaners are not harmful at all. So these are organic matter and can be it can get degraded and will not have much effects, I would say, right? So that is one thing. Then there is Padux. Padux is a brand where you can buy footwear that's eco-friendly. They have they do upcycled footwears made from upcycled tires. So they make from tires. They make from cruelty-free. They don't have leather, so instead they have vegan um, shoes. Yeah, vegan is a very cliche term right now, but still. So they do such kind of things. So they have different products for footwear for both men and women, right? And you have something called Goli Soda Store. They are pretty, pop sort of thing, very focused on the young crowd. For example, you can just even think of they also are like any other place where you can buy all the home related items, living for the babies, for the newborns, stationary items, everything that has a positive impact. Even if you buy it and you throw it, it's not going to harm a lot. So that kind of things. So earth focus, this is a eco shower tap which you can attach into the taps that you have at home, and that helps you reduce the quantity of water that you use. You can simply go without buying it and try to open the tap very less instead of fitting it, but still, um, this can be used in big organizations too, where you cannot have control over everyone there. So this is something. um, then you have some organization called Ecosia. So Ecosia uh, is a is an amazing website, I would say. They are like a search engine. Instead of having Google as your search engine, you can take up Ecosia, and they try to plant trees for all. I think almost every 50 searches on an average. I think they plant one tree. And you can have it in your mobile. You can have it in your. You can open an account and link all your devices to it, and you can use this as a search engine instead. So this is one thing. And while coming to the internet itself, right now what we are trying to do, the talk that we have, um, even this requires some amount of energy, right? So, and think about the mails, think about the different things that we store on the cloud, on the internet. All this requires some storage space, right? I mean, you cannot save a lot of pictures. You need to have a SD card, or you need to have a hard drive, external hard drive, and these kind of things are, that's where you store data, and that's where you store information. So each and every data server that is running, it requires a large amount of electricity. So all this you can try to reduce by unsubscribing to uh, unnecessary emails. You can unsubscribe to all the ads, all the spam mails, and so on. You can take 10 minutes every week to delete mails. That itself will be a good way to begin with. You can reduce the amount of electricity used. That is another one. And yeah, so to end this, I would say a lot of this, till now, whatever we see, it's a linear economy, right? So we go from take, make, use, and waste. So every single thing that you see around yourself is like that. Yeah. You're going to throw it one time or the other. So before you throw, just think what I can do if I can use it one more time, or if I can borrow something else. If you want to buy something, instead of buying new things, you can think if I can borrow it and just make use of it. And have community libraries wherein you can go get tools, you can get things like that. You can create a small friend circle who share things, instead of each one having that, each one buying the same thing again and again. Why not? And you're not going to use it every single time, right? So why not share the different things? So you will also create less demand. You will be able to help people live a better life, because you are generating less toxic waste and so on. So that kind of thing has kind of changed. We went a step ahead. So initially, when sustainability, people would have thought of it, the linear economy, they would have thought, okay, let's go to the next step. Let's, instead of having a straight path, let's reuse something, let's recycle something. But then we also over time understood that that is not enough. So they went into circular economy, which tries not to generate waste at all. So there's nothing called waste. It's a resource. So it can be used in one way or the other. If it is organic waste, you can always create compost and help it feed your food growing crops. If there is non-organic matter, that can still be recovered and be used in some other industry. So circular economy looks at waste as a problem, and it's a flaw. It's not part of the design at all. So they try to keep using it over and over and over again, right? And I know this is a lot of information to take in, but if you want, you can take a 5-minute pause or anything like that. If you want to ask some question, or if you want to add some points to it, please do please do help with that. Yeah. Yeah, Shivangi. So you are saying, what are the effects of electronic devices in sustainability? So, okay, to begin with, what are the different kinds of electronic devices? What makes it an electronic device, right? So, there are a lot of integrated chips. You have a lot of say different small elements that you solder and so on. So each thing requires a mineral, right? So you would have known that the Tokyo Olympics gold medals and the silver medals and so on have been created from the gold extracted from mobile wastes. So there are a lot of mobile phones that are discarded, and they extracted gold from that, and they have made all the gold medals and the silver medals and so on. So a lot of each and every electronic device has some mineral in it, and in order to have that mineral, you have to mine earth, you have to give it the proper processing, give it the take it to the furnace or high temperatures, and in the end create the mineral ore. Basically from the ore you're making it the usable material. So over time we all know that everything is finite, all these resources are finite, and these are not going to work out. And second thing, if you look at the sustainability aspects to it, people who are working in the ore, they have to go in very dark conditions, say they might not be very economically stable. uh, they are they are from the section of the society which just wants to survive every single day, right? They just need some um, food or just some amount of money. So in order to have all these things manufactured, you need someone is there behind, they are working around, they need to have proper working conditions, they have to be paid properly. And also these minerals, once processed and everything, you're just throwing it away. So you're again sending it back to without any treatment. So you're generating a lot more waste. You have used so many things in it, and all these also have when they are degrading, they can have very bad effects as well. They can pollute the landfills and dump yards and so on. So of course these things are enabling us to help a lot of things, but they do have their problems. That's right. Of course. Yes, that's a really really good question, because I think till now every single time we have went wrong, it's when um, we have not thought about what will happen once it is used, right? What will happen after we don't have any thing with it, right? So um, in such conditions, how can such solar panel waste which are not very much recyclable, what can we do with it? Definitely there are technologies that are trying to make it more recyclable. They increase the recycling rate. That is on one side. The other side, definitely, yeah, I think once you start manufacturing and processing and doing all that, you are changing the very nature of the matter, and it definitely is not going to go back. But we have to start finding other uses to it, right? And I think recently a lot of geothermal energies, which is not like solar and wind, which depends on the availability. And places where geothermal is possible, they are trying to use that. um, Say biogas based electricity making. Definitely we need alternatives. We cannot just depend on solar, we can't just depend on wind. We need a mix of more, and we have to think about the recyclability, or again how to use it. That's really important. And I think that's where a lot of policymakers and a lot of I think the industry has to come up with giving ideas there. I think this is still an ongoing thing, and we should not make that mistake again of not being able to recycle something anymore, right? So um, it cannot be the only sole source of renewable energy. Definitely not. Yeah. uh, Anyone has any questions or opinions or ideas that you have for you? Maybe you're thinking of having a starting a business that is sustainable, something that excites you. Probably someone wants to share that and give shape to it. I think that will be great. The floor is open to everyone. I mean, anyone can just pop up and share your thoughts. Is there something in particular you want to know? Is there something that we can do immediately that you want to ask or something like that? Can you? Yeah. Any curious questions or anything?
Okay, so keep posting your questions. And Aparna, with your permission, can we please share the feedback form in the chat box?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the feedback link will be shared in the chat box. Please do give your feedbacks.
I think there's a lot of information overload. Even I'm feeling a lot of, a little fatigue. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know, guys, if there's anything.
Are there any other questions?
And I think definitely once you start on this journey or anything like that, it will always be exciting. There's always something to do more. Sustainability is a need. It's definitely required right now, and to be able to have access to technology, we are pretty much very privileged to be able to have everything, and uh, and we can try and make use of it and make the community that we live in much more better, right? So I think it's if you have any crazy idea with your friends that you are, just try and pursue it. You are in college, try, just give it a try. Yeah, if you are somewhere outside, it's okay, you can think of with your friends what to do and so on. I think it's always exciting to do something, and yeah, let us know if you need any support.
So please do follow her Aparna on Instagram. So she is an amazing upcycling enthusiast. So I'm not telling it for thing, but I have seen her doing a lot of stuffs which are highly eco-friendly. So please do follow her on Instagram. And thank you so much, Aparna, for accepting our invitation. So it was, and every time when we listen to you, it is something new. You have something new, and you give us something new. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Hope. Yeah, there is a question for you in chat box.
Yeah. Okay. Due to the pandemic period, yes, number of masks are produced. This production also leads to some more pollution. How to tackle this? Yeah, I think these are the kind of questions that become very difficult, to take a decision on, because right now everyone wants to be safe. Everyone wants to have a healthy life, and for that, definitely we need masks. Definitely we need proper sanitization and so on. There is no doubt that we have to have them. Yeah. Um, Definitely people are coming up with many more alternative solutions for masks and so on, but still, as long as they come in and they are as popular as the current mask, we have to use them. So the best thing that we can do is dispose it of mindfully, dispose it off in a say responsible way. There are a lot of companies that take biomedical waste and so on. It's really important that we dispose it off properly, right? So that's where that's one thing we can start with. And all the students who are studying in material sciences and so on, they can always come up with new ideas on how to have new materials, or how to or someone else who can do a 3D simulation. If you are a mechanical engineer, you can do a lot of different simulations and so on, and all this you can show that this is better than the previous one. So that's how you go one step after another. I think asking these kind of questions is the most important, which allows us to go from one step to the next, right? So yeah, how to dispose batteries at home or old electronic items. So there are again a lot of organizations who accept electronic waste. There are organizations who also do electronic drive cleanups and so on. I immediately, if you want, I don't remember one, but yeah, I think kuppaitorti.com, I think they have good e-waste collection also. You need to have good amount of e-waste. That's in Chennai, I guess. And one, they also collect a lot of different waste. So most of the waste collecting organizations, there are many, right? So they are upcoming, and there are a lot of them, and we can dispose it off to them. That will be the best. So they'll take care of it. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much everybody who have joined today, and thank you so much, Aparna. So if
Thank
there
you
are
so much.
no further questions, then
Yeah.
we can close the call now. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think thanks a lot, Sci-Chronicle. I think it's been amazing. I think this is the largest crowd I have ever talked to. So this is thanks for this opportunity. I'm happy that I'm able to share some of the thoughts, and people are able to, start thinking at least some differently, and take some steps. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Aparna. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Have a good evening, everyone.